What's up, everybody? It's Lance. And I just wanted to take some time today to reflect on some of the things that have been working for me with my children. One of the major breakthroughs I had was the accepting versus expecting concept, where I'm accepting my children for who they are as an individual person. You know, I feel like they are little beings and we should treat them as such. For such a long time, I expected so much from these little guys, right? I have a 4.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. More talking to the 4.5-year-old here, because the 1.5-year-old is still young and, doesn't understand a lot of this stuff, but I would expect him to fit in a certain box. And it wasn't until I kind of dug deep and figured out some of the things, that were taught to me as a child, some of the paradigms in my life that were passed down from my parents, from my teachers, from my mentors. Just as an example, my son loves to sing. He loves to play music. He loves to bang on things like drums. So we were in Target, this is a couple months ago, I don't know, 6 months ago now, and he's singing a song, beautifully, may I add, at the top of his lungs, when people are looking at him. And he has no care in the world, and my paradigm starts to kind of kick in, my what I've been taught, and I'm like, you gotta be quiet, shh, don't do that, shh, don't, quiet down. And I'm getting embarrassed, right? Now, why am I pushing my beliefs onto him, right? And it wasn't until I really started to accept Jonah for who he was, as a little individual person, is when I truly was able to connect to him as a person and to understand who he really was. And when you remove the expectations, that leaves so much room for you to be present and enjoy the moment that you're in with them. It's such a beautiful thing when you're present. And I feel like the expectations I had were not allowing me to be present with my kids. And thinking back in hindsight, I'm so grateful I figured this out when I did. But at the same time, it's like, how many things did I miss being present with them because I was expecting a certain result. I was expecting a certain outcome that was my belief system being pushed onto them. Had nothing to do with them, right? They are so pure and so innocent. Their minds are so blank. And, it's our job to fill it with, amazing content for them to take with them and become young adults and become independent, right? That's the idea. Well, one of these main concepts for me is I don't want to, give the beliefs to my children that may not be serving them. What worked for me as a child may not work for them as a child. And I don't want to also suppress some of the genius that they might have within. What if Jonah, could have become a rock star or an amazing singer, and that was what he was destined to be. But I kept saying, no, shh, be quiet. You're not supposed to be so loud. Don't sing like that. People are looking at you. And I pushed my beliefs onto him, and it became, so he was self-conscious about what he was doing. And he doesn't know any better, right? He just learns from us. So when I realized that, when I had that aha moment, if you will, again, it was amazing because I can now, focus and be fully present with them, just allowing them to embrace everything that they are and learn about themselves, right? Because this is how they learn. They don't know any different. Singing out loud in the middle of Target, for us, might be scary because people are judging us. As a parent, you know what? I have to look at the bigger picture, right? Besides that little tiny time where people are judging us, I don't care anymore if people are going to judge us. Because, if it's going to benefit our children in the long term, then that little tiny moment where we just let our beliefs go and we be present with them is going to change the dynamic between your kids and yourself. I mean, it did for me, and it's something that I continue to practice, right? Because our beliefs continue to creep into our heads, and I constantly do work to, better my belief system, better my paradigm, so I can then pass that down to my children. It's all a constant work within, because if we're not, whole, if we're not serving our own selves, then we're not going to be able to serve our kids, our family, our spouses, our community. But that was just a reflection I had, and I hope that maybe that sparks a little something inside of you. But yeah, just accept and don't expect so much. All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll talk soon.